As a part of our commitment to transparency here in the church and a part of our commitment to better communication, you may know that I have told you that from time to time we're just going to call a quick timeout, and I'm going to kind of give you an update on where we are. We kind of passed the mid-year portion of the year, that at the end of June, and so this morning I want to take just a few minutes and give you some updates on where we are in some of our key measurable areas, attendance and offering and ministry updates, and with some of the strategic goals that we've set for this church so that you know where we're headed, what's going on, and what God is doing, and that you have a better understanding of how you can get involved in what God is doing. So this morning I want to start with just a kind of a quick financial update. I know many of you watch the numbers in the bulletin. You watch that some weeks our offering numbers are above our goal number, as they are this week, as some weeks they are below our goal number. And I've heard from a lot of you, I'm not sure what any of that means. And so let me tell you where we are kind of midway through the year. At the end of June, Shiloh Church had collected $238,655 in faithful tithes and offerings from both our Delhi and Price Hill campuses. Now, this is exciting to me that even though we were about $8,000 below our budgeted goal, this number indicates a $20,000 increase from where we were last year. So the people in this church believe in what God is doing and are demonstrating their belief through your faithful and sacrificial giving. Our first quarter this year was a very strong one. As a matter of fact, there were several families who chose to give their entire pledge in the first quarter to kind of help with cash flow issues. The second quarter, we're struggling a little bit more. Not that things are in a bad place, but it just wasn't quite as strong as the first quarter. And we expected some of that with the summer months and with vacations and watching attendance and offering fluctuate all during the summer. We're confident that as we step into the fall, faithful Shiloh givers will continue to invest in all that God has planned and all that God is doing through this place to make the next 2 quarters really successful and valuable as we step into ministry. The good news of our overall financial picture is that we are in a much healthier place than we were a year ago when I came and talked to you about our financial situation. And I want you to know that has vastly improved. Some of the investments that we have performed better than we expected. Some of the gifts outside of the offering plate have come in higher than we normally expected them to be. And so at the end of June, at the mid-year point, Shiloh Church was operating at a $13,000 surplus rather than a deficit. This is great news because we also during the time paid off a significant portion of our debt on the parking lot back behind us, and we've begun investing in replenishing our cash surplus and able to do ministry in a much more powerful way. We expect that we're going to get to the end of the year and have paid off a significant portion of our debt and still have had enough to put some in our cash reserves in order to have ministry and mission flow into the following year. All of this is due to a financial team, our team of servants that gather together every month to minister and to figure out what it means to be good stewards of God's gifts in this church. Our finance team has worked on systems and structures and put accountability in place, and they've dug down deep into our budget and been able to foresee some of the problem areas before we got there rather than reacting to them. And so I just want to thank our financial team, our servants that gather every month and being a part of that ministry, because the work that they're doing is allowing Shiloh Church to do ministry in a much healthier and more stewardship kind of way. At the beginning of the year, we set a vision for this coming year, laying out a vision for 2015 in 4 dimensions, trying to be a church that's moving wider and higher and longer and deeper. So in your bulletin, you're going to find a flyer that looks like this. This may look familiar. If you've been here since the beginning of January, you probably recognize this logo and perhaps even this flyer. This was in your bulletin all 5 weeks during that series. The highlighted places are that this is just that exact same flyer with just some updates on where we're doing, how we're progressing, and the work we have yet to accomplish. So I just want to give you a few highlights from this page so you know where we are. Although summer has been kind of a hard on attendance and offering this year, Shiloh Church is still a growing church. And a lot of our growth has to do with the growth we're seeing at our Price Hill campus. And so I want to encourage you to keep inviting and keep bringing your friends and your neighbors, because Shiloh is a place where God is moving, not only in numbers, but in spiritual depth. You saw the 8 people who gathered here just a few minutes ago, and the reaffirmations of baptisms and memberships. The baptisms and confessions of faith and memberships that we've done this year demonstrate a commitment to not only numerical growth, but spiritual growth. And after all, isn't that what we're here for, church? Can I get an amen on that? In the long dimension, I couldn't be more excited about our partnership with Delhi Middle School. We met with them and we asked, what are your greatest needs? And so as we move forward, we're looking into expanding our Check and Connect system. We now have the applications. And so if you're interested in being a mentor with a Delhi Middle School student, I'd love to talk to you about what that could look like and how we're going to engage that this fall. On August 20th, they're going to do a big open house that we're going to be a part of, and Shiloh in Motion is going to be taking the lead on. I'm also excited about our endowment committee. These are a group of folks who are committed not just to the financial health of the church as a whole, but of each individual family. They believe that a healthy financially healthy church comes from financially healthy people. And so they're helping to put on seminars and educational opportunities to get wills made and work on investing and how to do that. This Tuesday in your bulletin is an opportunity for you to come, and if you have a 401k, an IRA, or a pension, and you hear some of those letters and numbers and it just gives you heartburn, right? This is the place to be. We're bringing in some experts to help you. It says nothing to do with the church other than financially healthy churches have financially healthy people in them. And so we want to help you as well. In the higher dimension, we've really focused this year on our online presence. We've developed our new website and all of the messages that we give. We bought a brand new camera, and so they're high-quality messages going out. I hope that if you have to miss a Sunday, you know that you can reconnect with those there. We're praying about the possibility of opening a second worship service at Price Hill in the evenings, because some of the feedback we've gotten from the community is we'd love to come to church, but the morning's really early. What if you did something that evening? And so we're dreaming about what that could look like as well. In the deeper dimension, we're really focused around life groups and helping life groups launch here. Several life groups have already launched. We even got a request from one of the teenagers in our congregation to start a life group around the issue of bullying. And so we're really excited about how people are just saying, kind of asking the question, how can I connect in accountable community with other people? And Wednesday nights this fall, we're going to be offering a Bible study for adults on how to make sense of the Bible. I've had dozens of people ask me as hard life questions have come their way. What does the Bible say about this? Or what does the Bible say about that? And we want to offer an opportunity for us to read the Bible for all it's worth. And so this fall, we're going to be offering that opportunity. In each of our ministry areas, there are really exciting things happening. In our student ministry, we're averaging a little over 50 students per week in all of the ministries that are happening here. There's a high school Bible study that happens over at Oak Hills. There's a life group that meets at Panera or local restaurants for high schoolers. And for me, the most exciting thing in our student ministry is that the plan was, as we entered into the summer, to kind of shut down student ministry and pick it up again in the fall. But our students were so engaged and so connected with ministry, they said, no, we want to keep going through the summer. And so these student leaders have stepped up and said, we want to have ministry. And Brent said, as long as you show up, we'll keep having ministry. And they've showed up all summer long. Students, I am proud of you. Well done. Let's give them a hand. In our children's ministry, it's been a pretty fabulous first part of the year as well. Our Upward ministry touched over 700 people as they came through these doors for basketball and for ministry and to hear the story of Jesus. Our Vacation Bible School was the largest ever with 230 children involved. And this is my favorite number, 140 adult servants working with these students. We're really focused around making sure that our Sunday morning and Wednesday evening experience are just as powerful as some of our big events are. And so we're putting a lot of focus and energy into that. Our preschool has seen an amazing turnaround as we have brought on a new director, Beth Carter, and she's been able to help us restructure ourselves for effective ministry in really exciting ways. This fall, where not only will we be a financially viable preschool, but it'll be a preschool that is designed to truly bless and connect people to Jesus as we've brought it under the umbrella of the church, not as a separate ministry from the church. We've got a goal of 120 kids enrolled this fall, and there's still some spots. So I want to encourage you to think about the friends and families and neighbors you have who have preschoolers and say, I know this great church. Lastly, Price Hill. God is just doing an amazing ministry over there. Pastor Brent is preaching over there this morning. And we're watching God bring new folks and do new ministries and change lives in that community every day. The financial giving at Price Hill has exceeded our expectation and our projections because people are invested in what God is doing. And this fall, we're asking the question, what does it look like to really reach out to the Price Hill community, maybe a Saturday evening or a Sunday evening kind of service? And so in your bulletin, there's a little flyer on the Price Hill side of things that might ask, what would you do if we had a evening service at Price Hill? Would that be something you would be interested in? There are so many other miracles that are happening here. I couldn't take time to name all of them, but I just want you to know that God is moving through Shiloh Church because you said yes. You said yes to prayer. You said yes to serving. You said yes to giving. You said yes to being a part of a community that is moving forward. And so today I just want to say thank you. As our ushers wait on us for our tithes and offerings, I just want to remind you that when you give, miracles like Shiloh Church happen. So give faithfully, give generously, and know that when you give, God takes the gifts that we have and multiplies them. As always, if you have questions, ask me, connect with any one of our amazing staff members or somebody on our board. They would love to sit and talk to you, answer any questions you have. Church, give in a way that makes God smile.